Now, a deal has been reached over the ongoing crisis in the Central African Republic. Let's go straight to Nazanine Moshiri, who's in Gabon's capital, Libreville, where those talks are taking place. Nazanine, just bring us up to date now with the details of that ceasefire deal that's been agreed.
Well, it seems to be quite a substantial peace agreement, Darren. On the one hand, we have a ceasefire, so all fighting will stop. Seleka has agreed to lay down its arms, open up a humanitarian corridor, and also withdraw from the towns it has occupied, but on the guarantee that the government will be dissolved this evening, and there'll be a new transitional government at some point tomorrow. In the CAR, we understand that the rebels and the President Francois Bozize are heading back to Bangui tonight. They will form a new government. The Prime Minister will come from the opposition. So all of these are very, very important concessions which have been made on both sides to come to a peace agreement. But there have been peace agreements before, Darren, as you well know. Here in Libreville in 2008, there was an agreement between rebels and the same president, Francois Bozize, which then disintegrated. But what both sides are saying is different about now is that the international community is very much involved, and regional powers here are also very much involved as well, and they all want to see stability and peace in CAR.
All right, Nazanine, thank you. Let's cross over to Andrew Simmons now. He's in the capital of the Central African Republic, that's Bangui. Andrew, so a significant development at those talks in Libreville, where Nazanine is, but how is news of the ceasefire deal likely to go down where you are there in the Central African Republic?
This news is coming through slowly to the people of this impoverished nation, but I can tell you this, that they're going to be pretty excited by this, because Bozize has gone a long way with these concessions. The way we hear it now is that he is ceding powers as president, and as Nazanine was saying, there could be a dissolution of the National Assembly as early as tomorrow. That is really an extraordinary development, really, and there have been 3 peace agreements during Bozize's term, none of which have come to anything in the end. There is a mood of distrust in this president right across the country, but it appears here, having given all these concessions, and if he's genuinely going to cede power to a prime minister who's going to come from an opposition party, then there is some hope here. And the rebels seem to have also conceded considerably, but it looks like an equal sort of footing on both sides, and they have reached this agreement, and it would appear that now the rebels intend to withdraw from the 12 towns they've taken in this month-long extraordinary advance towards the capital. Only 75 kilometers outside the capital they are right now, in the so-called Red Line. The international forces here have not reacted yet, but obviously they will be heavily involved in policing the withdrawal of the rebels. And the rebels also, we hear, will not be actually pushing necessarily for a political party, Seleka, the alliance of these 4 rebel groupings who are quite separate in their whole ideology and their approach to politics. They'll be taking a sort of stance which is quite mixed. Apparently, from what we're hearing, they will be absorbed into the army, Bozize's army, the fighters that is. There will be some politicians who will actually go into parliament, and then others will go into civic society groups, or indeed one group. So this does seem to be a comprehensive style of agreement, one that must have been mapped out well ahead of events, because when I was last interviewing Bozize before he left for Gabon, he was very truculent, very defiant, describing the rebels as terrorists and mercenaries. Well, what a difference a few days makes.
Absolutely. Andrew Simmons there in the capital of the Central African Republic, Bangui. Andrew, thank you. And Nazanine Moshiri there in Libreville in Gabon.